Meat Madness is one of those obscure horror games that not a lot of people would know about, but one that definitely grabbed my attention with its bizarre premise. A planet made of meat and a mining expedition gone awry. As you venture further and further into this meat planet, you look for survivors of the last mining expedition and slowly uncover the terrifying truth about this planet. It's a pretty short horror game, but the story is something like out of Twilight Zone or the X-Files. This video also includes many meat jokes. Pulsating meat. Would you eat this meat? It's a deep hole filled with meat. The meat is slippery. Careful. A fate worse than death. How many times will I say meat in this video? So come with me as we peel back the meat curtains and take a deep dive into Meat Madness. The game title screen is pretty simple, but the music is very eerie. It's almost like something isn't right, that the adventure that you are about to embark on could be a little dangerous. You click play and it opens with a black screen and text that tells you the story so far and who you are. The year is 2104 and the Earth is depleted its resources, while a mysterious planet-sized creature has appeared on the edge of our solar system. A company named Ingesticoorp, clever name, started sending mining expeditions to this planet, or I guess creature, to mine its meat. So the world will no longer go hungry. But what are they keeping hidden from the public? The secret is that most of these mining expeditions end in disaster. It's pretty ballsy to begin with to say, hey, look at that giant space creature. Let's go land on it and skin it alive and take its meat. And of course, there's going to be some disastrous things that go on when you do something like that. Ingesticoorp doesn't want people knowing about these incidences. But what else are they hiding? A company with that name seems pretty distrustful, don't you agree? They bring on recovery specialists to travel to the planet and to recover neural scans and DNA samples of those who have died, so that they could be cloned and brought back to the family like nothing had happened. And you, John Stewart, is one of those specialists sent to the planet to recover samples from the crew of the DSV Prevender. We arrive on this meat planet, taking inspiration from the PS1 era. The graphics are very simple. Meat as far as the eye can see, and the black void of space is above you, and an ambient noise in the background that could possibly be the planet itself. The controls are a bit stiff, creating this unsettling experience at first. We meet Guy Brimley, who is also a recovery specialist, looking very odd in his spacesuit with what looks like chunks of meat that have been stuck to him. You can tell this guy has been neck deep in meat. He fills us in on the crew. The DSV Prevender's black box says that crew went AWOL a few weeks ago. You need to head down into the mining pit behind me to recover samples. Just walk up to a crew member to collect a neural scan. The lab rats will use it to clone them back on the homeworld. So we must head down into this giant mining pit, search for the crew members, collect their DNA samples and neural scans, using a scalpel to cut off 50 grams of muscle or bone, which is not messed up at all. We also learn what happened to Guy's last partner. Don't stay in one spot for too long either. My last partner got sucked into the meat. Poor Guy, happy clone though. House and kids, beautiful wife. Meat that sucks. Not the first time I've heard that. We can't come back without a scan of Jackie Voss, the ship's captain, who is somewhere deep within this meat cavern. Sounds like she's neck deep in meat. She's very important. So we collect our thoughts and we dive headfirst into this meat hole. We come to the edge of this giant hole. The furthest depths are just a black abyss. Jumping down onto the meat spiral that winds its way all the way down, we can hear the gross sound of our feet landing on this wet meat surface. And these sounds are gross and sticky. Oh, the sounds! It's like sticky. More sticky than maple syrup, and that shit gets everywhere. Trust me, I'm a Canadian. I can only imagine what the smell of this meat planet smells like. Maybe like the leftover grease from McDonald's where they poured into like the giant grease bin. That's the smell that I'd probably get on this meat planet. And this hole at the top really reminds me of something, but I just can't put my finger on it. This does look like the inside of a penis, doesn't it? I don't know if you guys have seen the inside of a penis, but let me tell you, it looks just like this. It's a pretty narrow road down, and also very slippery. Many times I almost fell off. I blame the weird controls in the slick meat floor. The walls are moving, showing that this planet is alive, like it's breathing. Oh, it's moving too. That's gross. It's got like a mind of its own. With a pretty loud heartbeat as well. Which at first I thought it was our own heartbeat. But that is not the case. And it's a pretty eerie feeling as you get deeper into this giant planet-sized meat creature. Seeing the walls pulsate and hearing that heartbeat. The atmosphere music is also so good in this. Coupled with the sound of your feet slapping off the meat. It just gives you a very distressing vibe. We should not be here. That much I do know. And that became even more apparent when we find our first crew member, Li Yi-chen, still alive, and this meat wall is slowly devouring him. And we get some information on what happened. We were drilling and then something picked up on the high frequency scanners. Something big. I don't remember anything after that. Listen, after you get me out of here, we need to help Jackie and the rest. I was on the surface when we were hit, but they were deep in the meat pit. They found something massive, but that's all we get. It kind of leaves you mystified at what they found and what possibly has happened to the other crew members in this meat hole. Lee is becoming one with the meat, slowly being absorbed and devoured, but he doesn't seem too far gone. What horrors await us even further down below? That's the question. We get our samples of Lee and we have a choice to make here. Do we let him live or do we mercy kill him? I don't want to die. I don't care if they clone me. It won't be me. Help me. Should I put him out of his misery? If I kill him, it'd probably be a mercy kill. If I don't, then I'd probably be a dick, right? During this whole ordeal, we can hear like a growling sound, like a loud dog or something. And I think it's like the meat planet itself as it's eating Lee. It's all just so disturbing. Like the cold-hearted bastard Jon Stewart is, we decide to leave him alive and let him get consumed by the meat planet. No. You'll leave Yi-chen behind. He pleads desperately as you turn away. I feel kind of bad. Jon Stewart is not here to murder people. We're here to do a goddamn job. And we're gonna do it properly. Whatever these crew members got into, they can probably get themselves out of it. The platforming in this gets a little bit harder as tubes of succulent meat protrude across to make little bridges for you to jump down on. Doesn't seem too hard. One quick leap and... Ugh. I've fallen so far down. I've made mistakes. Your legs are broken and you're stranded. It doesn't take long for the meat to suck you down. You scream as it smothers you. Don't worry, recovery will come for you soon. Now we know what happens if you fall. The meat knows no mercy. If you die, you start all over again, which I'm okay with because the story is pretty short and it's intriguing enough to make you want to venture even further down to finish the story and uncover the secrets and to see what happened to these crew members. We work our way down the meat bridges and we find another crew member, Clark Lambert, who groans echo through the meat shaft. His deformed body once was normal, now changing, kind of looking like a sirloin. His skin a texture of meat, his hands enlarged looking like giant steak mitts. We can see muscle protruding from beneath the skin. With a minimal art style like this, the game really kind of lets you use your imagination a little bit at what you're kind of seeing here. It's not a whole lot of visual information, but your brain can kind of fill in the rest. We start to learn a very dark truth of what is happening to these crew members on this planet. Gravin, Voss, come closer, I can't see, my eyes. It's using them. It can see through me. Jackie and Ingesticoorp lied to us. The heart, oh god, the heart. I can still feel it, still beating. Why did you let us go further? Now we all die. Help me, please, you've got to help me. I can feel it eating me. It's eating me alive. All slowly being eaten alive and absorbed into this planet. And we get a hint that it's not an it, but it's a they. Could this planet be all types of meat from other galaxies? Aliens and other creatures who have been absorbed by this planet, using their bodies to attach to its own bones and create this giant form to like becoming like a one giant entity. All I know is that it's disgusting and I must know more. We slit Clark's throat, a mercy kill, and he is sucked into the meat. Much further down the shaft, we find another crew member, Alexis Manos. Her arms and legs all gone, but a giant smile is left on her now deceased corpse. Something about the faces in these retro games, as they're like stretched over these polygons, gives me I'm not sure what the word is for it. What would you call it? An ominous feeling? Unpleasant? It just doesn't look right. But it also works so well in horror games in this style, because that's what horror games are supposed to do. Make you feel unsettled. So it's working in this game. We go to take samples from her body, but something creepy happens. Her body trembles and stiffens as if she had been electrocuted back to life.
Tear your soul apart, more flesh on our bones, more flesh.
Her body reanimated by the living planet. It wants to consume us, for us to be added to its massive flesh mass. But things get a little worse as this planet tells us.
John Stewart, we have waited for you. We have such wonders to show you. You cannot escape us forever, John Stewart. You will join us all in eternal embrace.
It's been waiting for us? Eternal embrace? It all sounds so welcoming, but I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of commitment. How does it know who we are? That's the question. Has it absorbed so many people to where it keeps their memories? Or is something more diabolical going on here? We continue our journey as we come to a bit of a more challenging platform. Little polyps are protruding that we must jump on, being sure not to jump too far down and break our legs. Crap. Too late. Okay, lesson learned. Let's try that again. Look at my platforming skills. Come on. The meat's so slippery. I keep falling off the slick, succulent meat, okay? My guy has glass bones or something. I don't know what to say. Rewind. Let's do that one more time. We learn of another game mechanic that makes jumping down and platforming in this game much easier.
I'm falling. I need an adult.
Oh, interesting.
I can brace my fall.
We can kind of double jump, bracing our fall before we hit a platform, which makes crawling down this meat shaft so much more easier. And we find Wally Gravin, upside down, looking kind of like a steak dinner, blood trickling down his chin, but he's still alive.
Just kill me. I can't take it anymore. When it takes you, it makes you feel everything that it feels. The whole planet writhing and breathing and speaking. Just let me die.
He wants us to mercy kill him, to release him from this thing before it's too late, before he's consumed.
It's getting louder now. Can you hear it, John Stewart? Can you feel the heart?
The planet is once again speaking to us through him.
We will consume you as you consume us.
Wait.
And we will be one who suffering on your great white throne.
It wants to consume us like we've been consuming it. If this meat planet can feel everything, then that means it's felt the billions of people devouring it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? If that's true, that's kind of messed up. And I don't blame it for wanting revenge. We have found almost all the crew except for one. We leap our way down to the next stake platform and we find her, Jackie Voss, the captain, seeming to still be alive as the planet puppeteers her body. And we finally uncover the grim truth of not only this planet, but Ingesticoorp themselves.
Medicine, cloning, these things keep us alive, but we must consume. Ingesticoorp knows this, and Ingesticoorp keeps it this way. And even after reaching immortality, we still hunger for more. We dig deep to feed the earth because we were hungry, so hungry. But now we see with 1,000 eyes and feel with 10,000 fingers. Pain and pleasure, indivisible. Let us hold you, John. No more hunger. John, no tears, no hate. She screams in agony as the tendrils of meat wrapped around her dig deeper into her flesh.
The whole time Ingesticoorp knew of this planet and what it was, and kept sending miners to this planet to feed it. And in doing so, they would get meat back from this planet, feeding the earth. But it wants more now.
Step forward and accept our undying love, John. You cannot resist. This time you understand me, don't you, John? Your body has been here, but your mind has forgotten.
Have we been to this planet before? Are we a clone, but our memories are just forgotten? How many times have we been sent off to the slaughter? A never-ending cycle of death
in meat.
Crew of the DSV Profonder have become our first angels in Temple of Flesh. And you, John Stewart, you will be our messenger. Return to the homeworld and spread the seeds you have gathered from us.
We learned that it wants to spread its meat seed on Earth, so that it can spread all across the globe and have everyone become one with the meat.
There we will multiply. We will make the home world see our way. Oh shit, I think I've been meated.
And we have no choice as we are consumed by the planet itself. And Earth, well, Earth is pretty much doomed. Meat Madness goes to show you that you can tell a pretty interesting and disturbing story through really simple gameplay. When you first start off, it gives you enough information to where it grabs your attention. Slowly working your way down this meat shaft, more of the story is slowly told to you, and then the curtain is pulled back as the terrors and the truth are unveiled to you, building up to this great somber ending, which I do enjoy. Too many times we get happy endings, so once in a while it's nice to have that kind of darker ending to kind of throw things off a bit. It's something different, and this game is definitely different. The whole PS1 style of this game, from the audio, the atmosphere, graphics, creates this very unnerving world and story. One that I would not want to be trapped in. It's just so damn weird and gruesome. Not relying on jump scares to scare you, but it's more of the discovery of what happened to the crew and the terrifying truth behind Ingesticoorp. That's the true horror of this game. Meat Madness is one hell of a story and one that I really enjoyed. But damn, did it make me hungry. Check out this game for yourself because I believe there are multiple endings. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the other deep dives we have done on other obscure horror games. And as always, I'll see you in the next spooky video.